Hello, everyone. I'm Don Ghost, the worst movie reviewer, and today we will be talking about The Black Coat's Daughter. Two girls are stranded at their boarding school during winter break. While at the school, there's a scent of an evil presence in the atmosphere. First off, let me start by saying that this movie is hella confusing. All the scenes that take place in here are scrambled, and at first, nothing makes any sense. But I had the opportunity to watch this movie twice, and I must say that the second time around, this movie made much more sense. It's like watching Crash meets Donnie Darko meets The Exorcist. If that makes any sense. It feels like Crash because there are three connecting stories here that are being told simultaneously, and they all interconnect. First story is about Rose, and she has this secret that she wants to keep from her parents. I will say, without spoiling anything, she has a problem that she wants to deal with on her own, and she doesn't want her parents to get involved. That's all I'm going to say. The second story is about Kat, and Kat is just Kat. Like, there's nothing really significant about her except that she is a force that drives the story. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to ruin the movie. The third story is about Joan, and Joan has a secret. At first, I didn't know what Joan was doing here, but without spoiling anything, there is a revelation at the end that ties into Joan specifically. First time I saw this movie, I hated this thing. I'm just dumb, and I guess I was just hella confused as to what was happening in this movie. But I'm glad I gave it a second try because the second time around, I absolutely fell in love with this movie. At first, everything does seem confusing, but the movie perfectly explains everything to its audience without compromising its integrity. You may feel that nothing in here makes any sense, and there's no real point to any of this stuff that's happening on screen. And you're right. But the movie's still enjoyable because of its execution, storytelling, pacing, atmosphere, tone, visuals, music, brutality, and its revelations. The main character here is Kat, played by Karen Shipok, and her performance is eerie at times. Like, she has these moments where she's like staring off into space, just having a little smile on her face. And it's really, really good. It's like she's high on drugs or something with her hand just waving through the air and she's just staring at it. Rose, played by Lucy Boynton, looks a whole hell of a lot like Lana Del Rey. Anyways, her performance is good. Joan, played by Emma Roberts, does some things in here we've seen her do before, like Scream 4, except it's toned down like 100 notches. She doesn't talk a lot in this movie. She mainly acts with facial expressions, and it's very effective. I have to talk about my man James Reamer, whatever his name is. He's in this movie, and I love him because he's the man, and he's Ajax, damn it! Do the Warriors remake and have him in it. Oz Perkins, or Osgood Perkins, whatever you want to call him, he directs this project masterfully. The music immediately grabs you and pulls you into each scene. It's like what John Carpenter's score did for Halloween. Without the score, the scenes would have felt toned down. But with them in place, they cater to the drastic nature and flow of the movie. The pacing here is slow, and at times the movie feels dull, but the way the story unfolds is its most interesting part. The characters aren't that important, but this unscrambling of the story is the best thing about it. Plus, the music and the tone and the atmosphere is what keeps the viewer engaged. And as I was watching it, I wanted to figure things out. Maybe I'm just too dumb and I didn't get it the first time, obviously, but the second time around, I could follow it quite nicely. This movie is for people who are tired of seeing standard possession movies, and it kind of breaks out of that mold just by its unscrambling of the story. But then at the same time, it does feel basic. There are some tropes in here that cater to your standard, possession movie, and they could have taken those scenes out, and this thing would have been absolutely solid. Now, there are a few tropes, small few, and these small moments don't ultimately affect my overall enjoyment of the movie. I liked this movie the second time around. The first time I saw this thing, I absolutely hated it. But giving it another shot, I realized that actually, this thing is quite good. Are most of the characters highly important? No. But the way the story unfolds is what makes you care about certain events that happen in the movie. I would say that this movie deserves more than one viewing for an audience to truly understand and follow everything that's happening on screen. Either that or I'm just stupid. I would give The Blackcoat's Daughter an A minus. I would give it an A minus. The second time I saw it. First time I saw it, I gave it like a D because I really, really hated it. But then, like I said, I gave it a second chance, in which I think, you've seen this movie once, you hated it, watch it again, give it another chance. And I say that with most movies, including this, and it worked out perfectly because I loved it. That's a drastic change from going to a D all the way to an A minus. I love this movie because it's when people get killed, and the music kicks in. It's fantastic. I love it. It meshes well together. It's like I said, John Carpenter, what his musical score did for his Halloween movie, that's what the Blackcoat's Daughter did for this movie. I feel like, yeah, you take the music out and it's less effective. You put the music in there and it's like, holy crap, this is scary. It's great. I love it. The essence of this movie lies within its directing, execution, storytelling, pacing, atmosphere, tone, visuals, music, brutality, and its revelations. If you want to watch a movie that is scary and serves up on some realistic brutality, then The Blackcoat's Daughter is the movie for you. And so, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.